Hi, boys and girls. Mrs. Wipp here. I'd like to read one of my favorite stories to you. This book is called That Chickadee Feeling, and I'm reading it today with the permission of the author, Frank Glew. Hope you enjoy it. That Chickadee Feeling. That Chickadee Feeling. I was bored, really bored. My toys were boring, television was boring, my video games were boring, everything was boring. Even my sleeping dog, Max, was boring. I needed something exciting to do. My mother was busy writing a letter, so I didn't want to disturb her. I had to think of a way to get her attention. I put on my most boring face and spoke to her in my most boring voice. Mom, I'm bored. I'm really bored. Mom looked at me for a long time over the top of her glasses. Then, to my surprise, she said, I know just what you need. You need that chickadee feeling. I didn't know what she meant by a chickadee feeling, but I was ready to try anything. Before I knew it, I was dressed in my coat, my scarf, my boots, my hat, and was heading toward the park with a small bag in my hand. As we arrived at the edge of the forest, we were greeted by the warning sound of a screaming blue jay. I heard other bird sounds in the background. My mother explained to me how this land used to be home for many animals. Now all that was left was a small park that a few good people had saved. I wondered what all this had to do with me being bored and what a chickadee feeling was all about. All of a sudden, my mother stopped and whispered, "We are here." I looked around, but all I saw were bushes and small trees. I heard strange fluttering noises that seemed to be getting closer and louder, but I could see no signs of life. My mother told me to be patient as she took some sunflower seeds from the small bag. She told me to hold out my hand open and to be very still while she spread the seeds gently on my bare hand. I stood there for a long time. Then suddenly I heard the soft, gentle sounds of small wings very close to us. A curious little chickadee landed beside me on a dogwood shrub where it watched me carefully. It sang its song, chickadee-dee-dee, 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 and moved its head nervously from side to side. It hopped through the bushes toward me. I stood as still as a bird feeder. The tiny chickadee hopped cautiously closer. I was excited. It looked at the seeds. It looked at me. Our eyes seemed to lock onto each other. Then it happened. That trusting little bird landed on my hand. I got a strange tingling feeling which stretched from my fingers to the tip of my toes. I was surprised and excited at the very same time. A big wave of happiness ran over me. It felt as if Mother Nature had touched me. It was magical. This must have been what my mother was talking about. This must be that special chickadee feeling. I wondered how this little bird could make me feel so amazing and cheerful. The little chickadee chose one seed from my hand, then flew to the nearest tree branch. It placed the seed between its feet and pecked hungrily at the shell to find the tender inside part, which it ate quickly. I heard other chickadee-dee-dee sounds, but the same little chickadee flew right back to my shaking hand for more food. Again, I got that same warm, wonderful chickadee feeling. It was awesome. To my surprise, I forgot my mother was with me. When I looked at her, we both glowed with big, beaming smiles. At that special moment, I felt a different chickadee feeling. That day, I learned I could have the chickadee feeling even without a chickadee. As I walked home, Mom and I talked about other exciting chickadee feelings we both have had in our lives. Mom told me about a little puppy she got for her birthday and the time she came first in a race. I told her about learning to ride my bike and the first time I saw a rainbow. But the best part of all was when my mom told me her very, very, very best chickadee feeling was the first time she saw me on the day I was born. I sure didn't feel bored anymore. Chickadee-dee-dee, chickadee-dee-dee, chickadee-dee. I sure hope that you are finding a chickadee feeling. Take care, boys and girls.